All right, Shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, all praises, honor, and glory go to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Racha, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing salutations to the hopefully elect. It's the brother Azariah back again with another lesson in the spirit, going into the perilous times that we are in the midst of in these last days. Freedom of speech is being taken away blatantly. Many wicked laws are on the books now. The devil is ready to come down with great wrath, which we're already seeing that. Right now, you have ICE agents going around to, gather up these, so-called migrants, all right, that have come over the border, all right, mainly, Northern Kingdom, you know what I'm saying, that came up from South America. And with that whole thing, they're pretty much going for brown people, but you don't see them touching the Chinese, you don't see them going to Ishmael, you know what I'm saying, you don't see them going to, Moab, Ammon, you know what I'm saying, these different other nations that came over here. They're mainly focused on, getting Jake, right, which it shows you that this devil Esau Edom, he has orchestrated all this madness that you see happening in these cities. And now this deportation is the order that he's bringing about, you see. And also all these other military-aged men of different nationalities that came over, it was all a part of the plan. Because these people, it's not like they snuck through the border. No, the borders were open, and these people were brought into America. They were flown in by plane. They were bussed in. You know what I'm saying? Even they were, some of them came on ship. You see? So Esau is complicit in this so-called invasion of America. All right, which that's all to fulfill prophecy, especially the prophecy that goes into America, being the land of unwalled villages. All right, the Lord said that he's going to send a destruction upon this place, man. So the Lord put his spirit on Esau to open this place up so that ultimately it could be invaded from within. You see, because when you go to Psalms, the 83rd chapter, it tells you all the nations that were allied with Esau to take the Israelites away from being a nation. Even when you look at it, you got Ham over here too. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of Hamites came over the border. Just many different nationalities that are in America, sleeper cells. All right, so why the first of the year you saw all these T attacks happening within these cities. So something big is getting ready to come down. Now they holding nuclear war drills in New York and certain other places. So these devils are getting ready to do something. All right, we know there's a big black swan event coming down the pipe, but within that, you actively have these devils trying to eradicate the freedom of speech. So now the EU is attempting to clamp down on free speech in the U.S. to, quote, protect democracy. So we already know what this is all about. These devils are losing the war on information. Well, not losing, they have lost, okay? Because their narrative, nobody watches the mainstream media no more. Everybody's pretty much tapping into alternative independent media because these are people that are not bought and paid for by the state, by the elites. People that have, YouTube, Rumble channels, you know what I'm saying? They can go on there, do their own research and bring out the receipts on what's really going on, contrary to the narrative of the powers that be. And this is why in this time you have such a great awakening, which that vibration was first pushed by the prophets of Yahweh Bashmel Shai, but now it's spread to pretty much every nook and cranny of society, if you will, to the point where now you have the average American Babylonian that is questioning what their government is doing. When in years past, there was no questioning. Whatever the government did, and whatever narrative that was put out there to the people, they just accepted it. But now Esau is getting sloppy. The Most High is taking his wisdom away. Things are not making sense. So this is why now, in an attempt to, in their words, protect democracy, they're looking to clamp down on free speech. And over the past year, there's been a heavy campaign against free speech over there in the UK, places like Scotland, England. They've been going around and if you make a post on social media that is anti-government, or it's inciting people to think differently other than the narrative that was posed, they were going around, knocking on people's doors, questioning them, based on a post they might have made on Facebook or X, or some other platform, and locking people up, charging them, all right, which that's nothing more than making a man an offender for a word, which this is what these devils are all about. Okay, if their narrative, which has been supreme for hundreds of years, if their narrative no longer holds any weight, then the next thing that they're prepared to do is to silence you, and they're gonna do these things by way of law, all right, laws and legislation. Isaiah 10:1, as it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. And that's Esau Edom. All right, he's the chief, man on this earth who rules by hypocrisy, who rules by his wicked and unrighteous laws. All right, because if we lived in a righteous world, there wouldn't be a problem with people speaking the truth. But that's how you know that the devil, a liar, is in charge, because his whole society was built off nothing but lies. This is why critical race theory is such a threat. This is why they want to ban this thing in schools and everything like that. So bottom line is, when you go to the book of Obadiah, it tells you that how all the hidden things of Esau sought up. So the so-called white man, he's not able to run circles around the people no more. Now there's a heavy expose, inquisition on him now, right, which he can't take it. So it says here, the European Union introduced fresh measures this week to limit American speech on social media platforms, claiming the move is needed to protect democracy. And this goes into another article that I have as well. We'll tap into that. But see, the reason why in the past few years, especially with Elon Musk buying Twitter, he bought out Twitter for however many $1 billion. Zuckerberg, he's in ownership of Facebook and Instagram, and now they want to get control of TikTok. But like I said, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it goes into limiting free speech and controlling the narrative, right? It says EU lawmakers say the initiative targets foreign interference in illegal content, but it's raising concerns among free speech advocates in the U.S. And Trump is the guy that said that he's going to restore free speech, that he's going to uphold that. Well, the laws they're about to put on the books is actually about to undermine your free speech. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of the T attacks that's going to be happening, people going to be talking. All right, so they're going to put laws out there to say, hey, you know what? We have to limit disinformation. Like, you're already seeing this rhetoric come out from the UN that free speech is a threat. It says EU officials intensified the enforcement of the Digital Services Act at a parliamentary session this week, claiming it's aimed at countering foreign interference and, quote, hate speech on social media platforms, right? So it says the act took effect last February, and it compels social media companies to remove, quote, illegal content or face penalties of up to 6% of their global annual turnover, right? So now we can go here. Oracle and Microsoft are reportedly in talks with White House to buy TikTok. Now check this out, right? Oracle, I forget the name of the guy that owns Oracle, but he's tapped in with Bill Gates, and of course Bill Gates, he's the founder of Microsoft. So why is it now that you're seeing the cabinet of Donald Trump, Mark Zuckerberg, these people have been put in the forefront now. These technocrats, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, you know, Gates, okay? These are the individuals that are now surrounding Trump. And, like I was saying, these individuals collectively, these technocrats, they're trying to take control of all the social media platforms. Why is this? Because they want the control of the people's minds, okay? They're a part of the what? The government, okay? To govern, control, and mental goes into the mind. So these social media apps have been used to control people's minds, okay? This is why you have a thing called social media influencers, okay? If you have a large following on social media, okay, whether you have hundreds of thousands or millions of followers or subscribers, all right, the elites will recruit you, all right, to further damage the minds of the populace, okay, whether it be by feeding them falsehoods, giving them misinformation, or to feed a narrative that is in line with the elites. All right, these influencers, man, they're set up. And see, Esau, he will incentivize you to speak lies and hypocrisy. Okay, this is why these people have millions of dollars. Okay, even if it's just to push folly, to just be a complete idiot on the internet, man. Esau will pay you nicely for that, because it further destroys the minds of the people and it takes the heat off of what he's really doing in the forefront. Okay, so basically what you have going on is you have the Trump cabinet seeking to seize control of all social media. So what's up with this guy Trump talking about he's for free speech and he's for the Constitution and this and that? Clearly he's not, because he's trying to control free speech, all right? Because once again, these devils have lost the war on information. So check this out. Oracle and Microsoft are reportedly engaged in discussions with the White House regarding a potential acquisition of the China-based TikTok app. This proposed arrangement would permit ByteDance, the current owner of TikTok, to retain a minority stake in the social media platform, while Oracle would assume responsibility for overseeing the app's algorithm. Interesting, right? Data management and software updates. So now, all right, you had talks, because they were going to ban it, but, well, they did ban it for like 24 hours. Then after that, it came back up. So basically what these devils are saying is, if we can't control the algorithm, if we don't have ownership, at least even partially, of this app, then it's not going to be functional within the U.S. That's the only reason why they put it back up, because right now they're trying to figure out a way in which they can control the algorithm. Because prior to the ban, ByteDance, which is a Chinese company, they didn't want to sell TikTok to America. But we know Esau's going to make something happen, or if it doesn't, then they'll just ban it altogether. But we know these devils would rather have control of the app and be able to filter, what you can and can't say, than just outright ban it, because they can still use TikTok to influence people a certain way. You see? So it says on Monday, President Donald Trump instructed the Justice Department to temporarily suspend enforcement of the TikTok ban until early April. However, several questions persist regarding the extent of Trump's authority to issue such an order, and whether ByteDance would be open to divesting the widely used social media platform. So right now, TikTok is still functional, but even when it came back on, people were saying like it feels different. It don't feel the same. All right, and make no doubt about it, if these devils do go ahead and acquire TikTok from this Chinese company, it's not going to be how it is now. All right, you're going to have censorship on there. You're not going to be able to say certain things, because look, there's a lot of truth that's coming out on TikTok, And this is part of the reason why, a big reason why they want to ban it, because they don't control the flow of information coming out from these platforms. So what is this? Let's go to Isaiah the 29th chapter. In verse 20 it says, "For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off." 21, "They make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the jest for a thing of naught." You see that? So Esau, the terrible one, all right, he is making a man an offender for a word. He's saying you can't speak truth unless it's my truth. He's basically saying that speaking against his system and his narrative is dangerous, which I get it, because Esau is losing. All right, he can feel his rulership slipping away from him. So this is nothing more than a last ditch effort, a desperate attempt to hang on to power. All right, but ultimately it's Yahweh Bashmel Shai that's taking this man down. All right, and even what you have now is you have his own tongue falling upon himself. Okay, because you got the prophets, that are exposing this devil. But even now, you have other Edomites. Okay, whether it be healthcare professionals, whether it be individuals within the government of Esau, Edom, military officials. Everybody has a story now. You see, everybody is coming out and spilling the beans about what's really going on with this devil. All right, with Esau's NWO. Okay, and as the prophecy in Joel, it says that in the last days, the Lord shall pour out His Spirit upon all flesh. You know what I'm saying? So really, these individuals that are speaking against Esau, it's all to do the prophecy. Okay, because this is the Lord's will at the end of the day. But this is what you have now. Okay, this is a sign that more draconian, harsh decrees are coming down the pipe, and that life will be very restrictive. Okay, what you say will be heavily monitored, and it's all going to be tied to a digital credit score, to a carbon footprint, which goes into this NWO of saying you being able to buy and sell. If your social credit score is not up to par, then you're not going to be able to perform certain functions. The same way it is in China, which Klaus Schwab said that the government in China is an exemplary form of government to institute in the Great Reset. So they bringing that here. You know what I'm saying? We've gone into countless lessons, but this is what you have to look forward to. You see? So this, what I'm saying? Revelation 12:12 is in full effect. Matter of fact, let me go to Jeremiah 12. Matter of fact, Jeremiah 12, we can start at the top. It says, "Righteous art thou, O Lord, when I plead with thee, yet let me talk with thee of thy judgments. Wherefore doth the way of the wicked prosper? Wherefore are all they happy that deal very treacherously?" Yeah, and right now, the wicked, he's losing his power, but he's prospering in his wickedness. You know what I'm saying? It seems as though Esau, he's being given more power. He's getting more power on that left hand side. Well, this is all the Lord's will at the end of the day, because the Most High, this is going to be a very dramatic, climactic end to this movie. Okay, Esau, he's not going to go down quietly. He's going to go out with a bang, literally. See, so the Lord is raising this man up, instilling more pride within his heart, hardening his heart, so that ultimately his pride will be his downfall. Verse 2, "Thou hast planted them, yeah, they have taken root, they grow, yeah, they bring forth fruit. Thou art near in their mouth, and far from their reins. But thou, O Lord, knowest me. Thou hast seen me, and tried mine heart toward thee. Pull them out like sheep for the slaughter, and prepare them for the day of slaughter. How long shall the land mourn, and the herbs of every field wither, for the wickedness of them that dwell therein? The beasts are consumed, and the birds, because they said, He shall not see our last end." Okay, so this is why the devil got to be taken out the way, man, because under his vibration, life is becoming more oppressive. Life is becoming more restrictive. Okay, and even when you get into this right here, all right, with these tariffs, which is nothing more than a tax on goods and imports, right? Trump fires back and orders tariffs, visa restrictions after Colombia rejects deportation flight. Now these tariffs, right? When you go into these tariffs, he's putting I think 50% tariffs on China, Canada, and Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Which the reason why the Trump cabinet is doing this now is because the BRICS have surpassed them. Okay, the BRICS nations have surpassed the West, and the dollar is going down fast. And you have a lot of insiders now coming out saying that these tariffs are necessary to try and hurt the BRICS, because really what has happened now is that there's less of a demand for the U.S. dollar overseas because of the sanctions that America put on Russia and its trading partners during the CV-19 with the whole war in Ukraine and things like that. But now you have more nations deciding to join the BRICS, even more so now because of the situation going on in Gaza. You know what I'm saying? These nations are seeing that the devil, he's going about raging like a roaring lion. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, hey, you know what? It's better for us now to come together against, the hegemony of Esau, Edom. Is better for us to now come together than for us to keep on using the American currency, because that's the weapon that they can use to take us down. All right. So now that the BRICS nations, they're getting stronger, they're doing business amongst each other. This is why now the tariffs are being imposed. All right. You know what I'm saying? This is why you're going to have these taxes. And ultimately, these taxes are going to hurt the American citizen, because if you're putting a certain percentage of tax, on goods and imports, it's going to trickle down to the consumer. So the consumer is going to lose money. Right. Even right now, they're warning of record high egg prices this year because of the influenza, and also a lot of fowl, chickens and birds are being called off, man, because of these various diseases and these laws that they're going to put in place to restrict how much food that you can make and how much food that you can process. Okay, so all this is coming under Trump. And of course, visa restrictions, you know what I'm saying? They coming, like I mentioned at first, man, you know what I'm saying? They coming down on Jake Hart, okay? So-called Latinos, you see? So it says here, it says U.S. President Donald Trump announced on Sunday his decision to impose tariffs, visa restrictions, and other retaliatory measures against Colombia following the Colombian government's rejection of 2 flights carrying migrants. He indicated that these measures were necessary due to the actions taken by Colombian President Gustavo Petro, which he asserted jeopardized national security in the U.S. In a statement posted on social media platform Truth Social, Trump remarked, "These measures are just the beginning." You see, so he's telling you that what you see going on, this is laying the groundwork for more draconian decrees to come down the pipeline, man. Okay, so this man Trump, people thought that he was for you. They thought he was about to restore your life in America, your happiness, but it's in fact the exact opposite. Okay, this may very well be that cruel Lord that Yahweh Basham Yahushai set up over the land of Babylon the Great to usher in the end of these people. All right. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his 10 horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Now, this beast having 7 heads and 10 horns is referring to the NATO and the EU. Okay, collectively, this beast system makes up the revised Roman Empire of the collective West. Okay, NATO and the EU, right? And upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head, Salakia, the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, Okay, going back to Alexander with the Greeks. Okay, that was the beginning of the rule of Esau. Okay, the leopard is synonymous with Greece, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Now this now we're dealing with the beast, right? This fourth beast to rule upon the earth. One of his heads were wounded to death. This is referring to the Western Roman Empire, which fell in the 400s AD. All right, so for a period of 1,000 years, from the 400s AD to the 1400s, all right, one of the heads, which when you go back to really the beast is dealing with Rome. We're in the revival of Rome, but in the ancient Roman Empire, you pretty much had a split in I believe it was 395 AD, where Rome was split between the Byzantine Empire in the east and the Western Roman Empire, which ruled over the west. Today, the collective nations of Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Portugal, UK. Now you have Canada, America, you know what I'm saying? But those original European provinces that, were part of the Western Roman Empire, they fell for a period of 1,000 years and came back. That's why it says, and his deadly wound was healed. Okay, that wound was healed during the time of the Renaissance, because in the 400s, you had Rome actually be sacked by barbarian tribes, and they ultimately fell from the 400s to the 1400s, and they didn't come back. All right, because they say that the Renaissance came out of Italy, okay, which they returned back to what? Classical ideals, which when you deal with classical, that goes into Greco-Roman culture, all right? Because for that period of 1,000 years, you had Jake ruling during the Dark Ages. That's why they call it the Dark Ages, not because it was a very unenlightened time and everything was just dark. No, all right? As a matter of fact, you had a lot of, technological advancement, during that time. But they called it the Dark Ages because so-called black people, Jakes, were ruling in Europe during that time. Okay? The deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. All right. So this beast system is speaking great things against the Most High. Okay, speaking great things against the Lord's people. But ultimately, this is a sign that this place is getting ready to fall. And it's long overdue, because Esau, he's been speaking proudly for a long time, man. So much so that his pride has deceived him. Right, when you go to Daniel 7 and 24, right? Daniel also goes into the beast. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 23. It says, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which represents Rome. Okay, we're in the revival of Rome today, the latter end of the Roman Empire. When you go to Daniel, the second chapter, around the 43rd verse, it tells you that at the latter end of the Roman Empire, that it would be the feet and the toes, and that the kingdom will be partly strong and partly broken. That's where we at now. Okay, we're in the time, the latter end of Rome, and the feet and the toes. And this, current system is partly strong militarily, and it's partly broken philosophically, and pretty much that no one can agree. They're having too many problems, man. It says, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. And this is exactly what Rome has done. Okay, Rome is diverse because the way that ancient kingdoms ruled, they didn't have a two-party system. They really didn't elect officials to be in government. They pretty much had kings. It was inheritances. You know what I'm saying? You had land rights. You had kings of I belong to this house, and that's the way that kings ruled. The kingdoms were in rulership back then. Now this is a very diverse, different system in which you have all these different parties that rule. You have policies and this and that. you know, with these other kingdoms. Pretty much whatever this, whatever the king said, that's what the law was. All right. So America is indeed, Rome today is indeed diverse from all the other kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth. Okay, going back to Esau's blessing, that he would have the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven. Okay, because this is the time of Esau. You know what I'm saying? This is the time for, the so-called Europeans to rule. All right, so this is why they have devoured the whole earth and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. Yeah, this is exactly what they've done. They all around the earth, and Habakkuk, it tells you that, that he keepeth not at home. You know what I'm saying? This man got military bases all over the earth. Okay, verse 24, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. Verse 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until the time and times and the dividing of time. You see? So this devil, he's speaking great words against Yahweh Bashmel Shai. He's wearing out the saints, which are the Israelites. Okay, with this whole ICE program coming after Jake, breaking up families, ripping them out from their jobs. You know what I'm saying? And also he's thinking to change times and laws as well. Okay, so we're given into the hands of this devil until prophecy be fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? So when you see these things, and just know that, our redemption draweth nigh. You know what I'm saying? Pursuing the Luke, the 21st chapter. All these things were a sign of the end, man. The thing's about to get worse. It's about to turn up. And, of course, Passover is coming up as well. Things always go down after the Passover, hardcore. You know what I'm saying? So we coming up on a time like no other, Jacob's trouble. And, we got to continue to exercise the faith, walk by faith and not by sight, and continue to seek Yahweh Bashmel Shai, because, what these devils have coming, man, is again, great wrath. All right. And they're not going to hold back, because this is it for them. And they know it. So it's about to be no mercy out here, man. You know what I'm saying? This devil right here, all right, Nero Trump, he about to be your worst nightmare. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the Rakah Kadash, called Halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kadash. Till next time, Lord willing, Shalom to the elect, Kum Yasha'Allah, and the Bible Ball. Shalom.